Hello and welcome to this lesson on influencer and collaboration. So in this lesson, we'll be understanding influencers, collaboration strategies, contests and giveaways, then legal considerations and best practices. So let's talk about understanding influencers. Who are influencers? I bet that this is not the first time you're hearing the word influencers, right? Influencers are individuals with a significant and engaged following on social media platforms, so they're not exactly celebrities, but they have like a significant presence on social media. They have large followings. They're the type that have like 20K followers, 30K followers, 50K followers, 100K followers. And these individuals can sway the purchasing decisions of others because of their authority, knowledge, position, and relationship with their audiences. So influencer endorsements can significantly increase brand awareness, build visibility, and drive sales. Think about it. Have you ever bought a product because an influencer influenced it? You may have most likely done that before, or maybe you were thinking of doing it because of how the influencer talked about the product, how they used it, how they're excited about it. It's easy, for people for them to sway purchasing decisions, right? So now, what are the steps of identifying the right influencer? As a brand, maybe you want to use influencers for your brand, to drive more visibility, sales, depending on your goals that you're trying to achieve. You want to define your goals and audience. So identify your target audience. Who are your target audiences? What are they involved in? What are their demographics? What are their interests? What are their behaviors? And what's actually your goal on using influencers? The goal will help you find influencers who closely match with your target group. You can't be having like a product that is for Gen Zs, and then you're using an influencer that is like a millennial influencer. It's that's even is that a millennial influencer is even better. You're using an influencer that Gen Zs cannot even relate to. Do you get? So the next thing you want to do is also have relevance and engagement. So relevance means the influencer's content and values aligns with your brand. You want to be sure that what the influencers normally post on the normal aligns with your brand. And then the engagement rates also indicate how actively the influencers audience interact with their content. How many likes do they get when they post content? How many comments do they get when they influence a brand, not just their normal regular content? What are their shares like? How many people share their content? Which is often a better metric than follower count. So even if they have like 100,000 followers, remember people can buy followers. So you may not really be able to measure that. Have you seen when people have like 50K followers and then you see their likes is 2, 3, 10? Just know that they bought the followers. That's just a tip. If you want to know a platform that is actually legit, that has the legit followers, the engagement will speak for itself. That's why it's not advisable to buy like and buy followers, then buy likes. It's easy for you to actually know when a page engagement of a page. So you have to check the likes, comment, shares of the content on the influencer's page, and also check the content that they influence for other brands. Like when they do their influencing for other brands, what are their likes? What are the engagement like? Not just for their own content. So when you do that and you identify the influencer you want to use or you want to partner with, the next thing you want to do is to reach out to the influencer. So to reaching out to the influencer, you have to have a personalized message referencing the influencer's content and achievement and showing genuine interest in their work. You just don't want to say, oh, this come and influence my brand. You want to be professional. You want to talk about, probably you saw a video that they did for another brand, and then you can acknowledge that, oh, that particular video you did for this brand looks really good. I would like something similar. That is amazing. Then you actually clearly state what the influencer will gain from a collaboration. So you let them know, oh, if you're going to influence my brand, you're going to get free products, or I'm going to pay you, or whatever the gain would be, because it's obviously has to be, so the influencer has to gain something from it, right? So you have to make that clearly stated. And if you want it to be like a partnership kind of stuff where the influencer benefits from you and you benefit from the influencer, it can be exposure to your audience. Oh, you influence this kind of brand or something. Are you a beauty influencer? I have beauty enthusiasts in my brand, and we can partner. You can actually collaborate with influencers and partner with them. It doesn't always have to be, you don't always have to pay them, money, like monetary um, value. And you also want to include a clear and specific call to action, such as requesting a meeting. So when you're reaching out to them, you let them know what you want to how you want to partner with them, and you say, okay, if you're interested, please, I would like to have a meeting with you so that we can discuss. What are your thoughts on this? When are you free for us to discuss further? So you just don't want to send a bland email or a bland message without clear call to action. Now, what are collaboration strategies? Collaboration strategies, you can partner with brands and influencers. So collaboration does not always have to be with influencers. It can be with brands. It can be with normal individuals who audience complements yours but does not directly compete with your business. So ensure that your collaboration partners share similar values and goals to create a cohesive message. So a good example to explain this is you can be a brand that sells bread. As simple as that. A brand that sells bread, and you can partner with another brand that sells um, bread spread, right? So you can partner together, or you can get bread from this store and then you can get bread spread from my own store. So that's a partnership that does not directly compete with your business. So it's a win-win for both parties. So that way both parties are actually sharing values and their goals. So, what are the collaboration strategies for a broader reach? You want to leverage different types of influencers. You can utilize a mix of influencers to maximize reach. There are micro influencers, there are macro influencers, and there are just the nano influencers. So, the micro influencers have like 1,000 to 10,000 followers. Macro influencers have 100,000 to 1 million followers. They provide obviously broader visibility. Nano influencers have fewer than 1,000 followers, but they can be good, to engage with followers, and the rest. So they also have celebrity influencers. They can be costly, but they can, deliver instant brand recognition for major campaigns. Then another strategy for collaboration is creating engaging content. So you want to be able to create diverse content collaboration to captivate audience. So sponsored calls, product reviews can enhance, authenticity, while giveaway and content boost interactions. Influencer takeovers and collaborative content like joint videos or webinars match audiences and generate, high quality engagement. Pretty much creating engaging content with partners and can be a very huge collaborative strategy where you can feature, the brand that you're partnering with in the content. You also have long-term partnership where we establish long-term relationship with influencers as brand ambassadors, for consistent promotion. You can have affiliate programs and where influencers can earn commission on sales through unique link incentives, incentivize them, and actively promote streams. You can also incentivize them to actively promote your product, fostering deeper engagement. So these are some collaborative strategy that you can use to reach wider audiences. So let's talk about running contests and giveaways. So when you're planning, so how do you plan and execute a successful social media content? The first thing you want to do is to define your objective. What is your objective of this contest? Is it to increase followers, to boost engagement? Is it to promote a product? You also want to choose the right platform. What platform are you going to be using? What platform are you active in? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it X? Is it LinkedIn? The next thing you want to do is to clearly outline the contest rules. So, what are the eligibility criteria, entry method, and deadline? So, let's say, for example, you're trying to get more visibility about your product. So, you can do, let's say, the product is about a beauty, let's say it's a beauty product, for example, and the beauty product might be a primer, or a foundation. Let's use a foundation, for example, and you're trying to do a content so people can get more awareness about the foundation. So you can do a challenge that all buy this foundation and use it, and show a creative way to use the foundation, creative way to apply the foundation, something like that. And then, okay, you have to do this between so date to so date, and this is what you are going to win. This is how you're going to win. Some people say the highest like, the highest comment, stuff like that. And then you also want to make sure that the content is shareable. You can say, okay, this is the content. When you post your video, share it to your stories and tag me, or tag 20 people. Those things that they used to do for content. Yes, you can make it more engaging and shareable, and tell the participants to be creative. You can also promote the contents or different social media channels on, can even be a newsletter website. Oh, we're having a challenge on Instagram, you want to jump on it. Then next you want to do is to monitor and engage the content. So you regularly monitor, okay, who are people actually doing this challenge. There's a hashtag that people have to add to, track it. You can use that to monitor it. And you also want to announce the winner and follow up. So when you announce the winner, you thank them for participating and encourage them to announce their win. Let's say they want something, they want some money, or they want some products, tell them to post it on their social media platforms. So that way other people can their audience can get to know about your brand. Now, there are legal considerations and best practice to put into place when it has to do with collaborations and partnership. In today's digital landscape, influencers collaboration are actually powerful. They can drive awareness and stuff, but you have to be careful. So there are some legal considerations to put into place or adhere to when you're working with influencers or basically collaborating with partners. So you want to be sure that to ensure that influencers must clearly disclose their relationship with your brand, to comply with the regulations from bodies in your country, and you should also provide guidelines to influencers and partners on how to, disclose the partnership properly. You also need to have contract and agreement. So formalize influencer collaboration through detailed contracts outlining the scope of work, deliverables, deadlines, compensation, and any exclusivity clauses. So if you can't draft a contract and agreement, you need to get a lawyer to do that for you. The contract should also cover the content rights, ensuring that both parties understand who created the content, who owns the content, how can the content be used. Then you also have data privacy and protection. So if the collaboration involves sharing customer data or accessing personal information, ensure that it complies with it. Ensure the compliance with data protection regulation and outline how the data will be handled, and protected in the agreement. You also have to consider intellectual property rights. So clarify intellectual property rights in the contract. So specify who retains ownership of the content even after the partnership is over. So is it the person that created the content? Is it going to be the brand? All this has to be stated. How long will the content be used? Because there are some influencers that would say after 3 months you can't use my content anymore, or after 4 months, or after a year. So you have to be sure that all this is drafted on and specified in the contract, and this prevents disputes over content usage in future. We also want to have the compliance with platform policies. So each social media platform have their policies. So ensure that your brand and then the influencers are adhered to the specific guidelines and policies of each social media platform. If you're going to be posting the content on Facebook, notes, Facebook policies. If you're going to post it on Instagram, no Instagram policies, and just know each platform's rules and regulation regarding promotional content. For example, on YouTube, if your content is going to be, if it's a paid partnership, like if you collected money or any form of payment for content you're about to post, you have to specify that. If not, they'll remove the content. They have rules that if you don't comply with their policies, you could even lose your account. So you also have to have the moral clauses. So implement moral clauses to address potential issues arising from the influencer behavior that could negatively impact your brand. These clauses will allow the brand to terminate partnership if the influencers engages or conduct that is deemed inappropriate or harmful to the brand image. So if the influencer does something that is harmful to the brand image, there should be a clause where you are going to, the contract is going to be automatically terminated, and just that way you can be able to protect your brand from, protect the influencer from tarnishing your brand image based on their behavior. So we also have best practice for effective collaboration. So in effective collaboration, you have to communicate clearly, maintain clear and open communication with influencers and partners throughout the collaboration. And you also want to establish expectation and provide regular feedback to ensure alignment. If the goal is for the influencers to create 4 videos per month or something, you want to make sure that you're clearly stating in how long the video should be, what should the video include. If you want the influencers to be creative, you can go ahead and state that clearly. What are the deliverables? What are the deadlines? You also want to make sure that you're aligning values. So you choose influencers whose values and styles align with your brand. Don't choose influencers that when your audience see and this particular influencers influencing for your brand, they may feel a certain kind of way. You want to make sure that you have authentic collaboration because authentic collaboration are more effective and resonate better with audiences. You also want to you also want to encourage creative freedom to allow influencers creative freedom to maintain authenticity. So you don't have to draft a script that okay, say this word for word. It's allow influencers to be creative. They know their audience more, they know what works for their audience, they know how to communicate their audience, they know how to influence their audience, right? So you don't make it so rigid and have a content requirement that might not be effective for their audience. So let them be creative. You also have to factor in so you also have to consider performance tracking. So you can use analytics to track the performance of the influencer campaign. You can ask for weekly reports or bi-weekly reports, just to assess the engagement, the reach, and the conversion. It's easy for you on the other end to see how many likes, how many shares, how many comments, but from the influencers back end, they can be able to see more details. So you may need to ask for report, and you have to state that in the contract as well. Please, we need report and all. This will also help in making data-driven decisions and also for future partnership. So you also want to consider consistent engagement. So engage with the influencer's content regularly, even outside the official collaboration. So because the influencer is influencing your brand or your product, doesn't mean that it's just only the product that they when they post your product on their page, that's the only time you engage with them. You have to engage with them outside the official collaboration so your audience can know that you actually have a good relationship with this influencer and it's not just more of a paid thing. This will build stronger relationship and shows genuine interest in their work. So you want to be working with an influencer that you actually like their work, because if you don't like their work and if their brand does not align with yours, what are you even doing, right? So that's pretty it for this lesson. I hope you've learned a lot. I'm going to see you in the next one.